Hey, welcome back to the Encourage and Empower podcast. My name is Kate. I'm a nutrition coach, and I'm so glad that you're here. It's been a minute. We didn't have an episode last week, and for that, I do apologize. Life just got crazy, and with the new year came a lot of unexpected amounts of busyness that I'm sure many of y'all can relate to. And so I just wanted to say I'm glad to be back. We're here. And actually, I wanted to be a little more transparent about just some mind blocks that were going on, literally leading up to even recording this episode right now. I just got like super in my head about this. I'm like, what am I even saying? Am I just yapping to yap? What is the point of this? And I wanted to come back to the foundation. Is like the point of this podcast exists to talk about health and wellness and then bring it back to a biblical perspective because the more that I am learning about the human body, the more that I'm learning through training clients, the more I'm learning through my own just independent research, the human body is incredible. And I keep seeing more and more of a reflection of God's goodness in our own lives, in our bodies, the way that we even like digest food and process things. And so this is a space to really just focus on like honoring our bodies, honoring the God who created our bodies. And so when I have that mindset and when it goes, it's not about me, it's not about what's the camera angle or why does my face look weird or what's going on with my hair in that short. Like, I just got super hypercritical because I made my focus on like, how do I like look and feel about this versus like, what are we actually talking about and what is the message of this? And so I just wanted to clean slate it today and say like we are here to talk about the body. We're here to talk about health and wellness and being a good steward of our body. And that honestly comes first with mindset. And so I had to do a mindset shift even right now before recording this. So, whatever's going on in your life, whatever mental blocks you have going on, I just want you to take a step back because I think when we are thinking about ourselves too much or we're like hyperly fixating, we become so self critical. And so just look outward. What is the purpose of what you're doing? Why? Who are you going to get to be involved with? Who are you impacting? Who is walking alongside you? Make your approach a more outward approach and less inward because the inward, if you're like me, the self critical, it will tear you to pieces. And so we're starting off today. We're going to be talking about hydration. So, literally, all of that mindset stuff was not even connected to the point of this episode, but I just wanted to stop and say, like, focus on the purpose of what you're doing. And we're going to talk about hydration. We're going to talk about how to fuel our bodies with the right electrolytes and how to nourish our bodies. But also, we're doing this from a place of confidence and of not being self critical or harming ourselves mentally, physically. And so, yeah, that's just keeping it real, honestly. Let's jump in to today's episode. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about why hydration is so important and how it really impacts our body. I was talking to a client of mine who just like was like, "Hey, I really struggle with getting enough water in," and we will jump through some practical tips to get more water in. But a good way to know that you might be dehydrated, one. When you're thirsty, we should be actually curbing our hydration. By the time your body is signaling, "Hey, I'm thirsty," it's you're already in that state of becoming dehydrated. So we want to be like proactively drinking enough water. You can drink sparkling water, you could add electrolytes and you could change it up if you don't love, add some lemon, that if you don't love the taste of water. But if you're feeling thirsty all the time, if your lips are getting chapped, if your skin is getting dry, those are some good signs that you are probably functioning dehydrated. Now, because the body requires up to 60 to 80% of your whole body is water. It impacts every single area of functioning. So, digestion, regulating your body temperature, your hair growth, your skin, everything is impacted by the amount of water that you have. And with so much like drinks available, you've got a lot of caffeinated drinks. We've got coffee, energy drinks, sugary colas, and sports drinks. There's water and hydration is actually lacking quite a bit. And so this episode is just talking about why is water and hydration important and how can we get some more natural electrolytes into our body and balance out our hormones with that. So I do want to go over that electrolytes are important because they partner with your water. They're going to help balance your fluids. And so they balance your fluids. They support your nerve and muscle functions. They prevent cramping. So after a good workout, you want to get some good electrolytes in there because you might be sore, you might get some muscle cramping. And so not just having water, but adding electrolytes as well. So the most common electrolytes are sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. They balance the fluids in your body and they help you absorb the water. So you've got to have the water and then you have to have the electrolytes. Now, there's a case study in 2015 by the Journal of Athletic Training, and it found that athletes who hydrated properly before and during exercise, they experienced improved endurance and reduced fatigue compared to those who didn't. So being hydrated throughout your day prior to a workout, during a workout, and then after a workout is really important to one, have a better performance. So if you want to lift heavier, if you want to run faster, run longer, if you want to have a better recovery and not be as sore, your hydration before working out and during working out will impact all of that. Another case study was published by the Frontiers in Human Neuroscience in 2018 that showed that even mild dehydration can negatively impact your memory, your focus, and your mood. So, throughout your day, if you feel yourself getting kind of tired, brain fog, you're not remembering things as much, you honestly might be dehydrated because, according to the National Library of Medicine, okay, it says that 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. So it's reported to occur higher in older adults, but this is just an epidemic across our nation. People are not going for water, they're going for sugary drinks, they're going for high caffeine drinks. And so, a good rule of thumb is you want to have 70% of your body weight in ounces. You're trying to drink that every day. So, keeping the math simple, if you weigh 100 pounds, you're going to want to drink 70 ounces of water. Again, do the math on your own body weight, but keep a water bottle on hand. Try to stay hydrated because it's going to impact every area of your life. It's going to impact your sleep. It's going to impact your relationships. It's a big deal. All right, the last study I want to talk about until we'll get out of the weeds here. But in 2020, a study in Nutrients was revealing that hydration plays a critical role in managing your chronic conditions like kidney stones, okay? High blood pressure and diabetes. A retired teacher had kidney stones and incorporated more water and water-rich foods, okay? So don't forget that you can eat foods that are going to help hydrate you. Watermelon is a great example, but lots of fruits and vegetables actually help hydrate you. Cucumber, things like that. And over 6 months, her condition gradually improved, and her doctor said that the kidney function was better due to her hydration status. So, find ways to stay hydrated. It's going to help with any diseases that you have. It's going to help prevent disease. It's going to help you stay more focused, and your body's going to thank you because it can actually function the way it needs to. Every cell needs water. So, here's my challenge to you, and I'm challenging myself in this as well. If you are an avid coffee drinker like myself, and I cannot go a morning without coffee. That's a lie. I can go, but I do not like to go without coffee. Get yourself to drink a big glass of water first. And if you're feeling really crazy, add some salt, add some lemon to it, get some more electrolytes in there, and drink that before the coffee because the coffee is going to start to dehydrate you already. And then you're starting below zero, right? We want to give ourselves like a launching pad to start our day. So start your day with a big glass of water, maybe go on a walk in the sunshine, get some vitamin D. Your morning routine is going to start to set the trajectory of your day. So if you start with coffee or with an energy drink, you are already one step backwards, unfortunately. So that's my challenge. Drink a big glass of water before drinking your coffee. Andrew Huberman talks about that all the time. Big fan. Okay, so yeah, here are some practical strategies. Just like we mentioned, starting your day with a glass of water, squeeze some lemon in there if you want a little bit more of a boost. Snack on water-rich foods, cucumbers, watermelon, oranges. You can get them in Ziploc bags. You can bring them to work with you. Add some hummus, but find ways to stay hydrated even through the foods that you're eating. And then make your own electrolyte drink. Okay, here's a little recipe. Super simple. You get water, sea salt, lemon, and a touch of honey, and then you have your own homemade electrolyte drink, okay? Gatorade, it's time to go, okay? Gatorade has been marketed as this amazing or drink to have after you work out to really boost up your electrolytes. And yes, it may have some of those vitamins in it, but it is filled with toxic food dyes with added sugars that you're really doing yourself more of a disservice than if you were to just drink plain water. So make your own Gatorade, make your own electrolyte drinks. Super simple. It's cheaper than buying a big thing of Gatorade, and you're actually giving your body what it needs. Go for sea salt, go for lemon, a little bit of honey, and you're good to go. And it tastes great too. It tastes great. Okay. Another tip you could do is you could set reminders throughout your day to drink water because if you have not been in the habit of being hydrated, it can be hard to kind of get used to it. Your body is probably adjusted to like the bare minimum amount of water that it's been functioning on. And so at first when you start to up your water intake, it's going to feel a little sloshy. You might not be used to it. You might not remember to do it. But your body is incredible. Your body is incredible because as you get used to drinking more and more water, it's going to start to crave the water. It's going to start to get thirsty sooner. But those first few weeks, you might need to set reminders on your phone. Every hour, I drink a glass of water. Every few hours, drink a water bottle. I know on Amazon they've got those like water bottles with the labels throughout the day, like good morning and you're halfway there, whatever you need to use to get hydrated, go for it. Maybe it's setting reminders, maybe it's keeping a water bottle on you all day. So I wanted to list off a few electrolyte rich foods that you can add into your diet. You could sneak it in to different meals as ways to stay hydrated. And again, we're trying to jump ahead of the curve. We're not trying to recover and, get back to where we need to be. We're trying to go ahead and stay nice and hydrated so our brains can be working the way that they're supposed to so that we can have sharp minds and good energy. So you want to have coconut water is high in potassium, okay? You could add that into a smoothie. You could drink it plain. You could even do the coconut water with the lemon and the salt and the honey. Make your own little electrolyte mocktail, make it look cute, have some fun with it. Leafy greens, okay? Spinach high in magnesium, it's high in calcium. You can add that into your eggs, you can add it into a salad. Bananas, a great way to get some potassium really quickly, and it helps you feel full too. So you're gonna get some good carbs in there, you're gonna get a little bit of a sugar boost, and you're getting potassium. Avocados, they are really versatile, okay? They have potassium and magnesium. So you can add that into smoothies, you can put it on a salad, you can eat it plain. I will honestly just sprinkle some sea salt on an avocado and eat it with a spoon. Some people think that's disgusting, but if you're all about that, go for it. That's going to help you get more electrolytes in. And then lastly, citruses, fruits, and nuts are great for you. So they're packed with lots of different nutrients, but oranges, lemons, limes, things like that, that's going to help you. Again, these electrolytes are helping your body to absorb the water that you're drinking. So if you're upping your water intake, but you don't have the electrolytes to break it down, it's going to be out of balance. So as you are incorporating more water into your routine, sneak in some of these electrolyte high foods so that you can actually absorb and use the water that you're drinking because your body is needing it and it's ready for it. Okay, we're going to switch over from kind of the science and the more like practical side. And I want to connect this to a spiritual application, okay? Call me crazy, but I'm telling you, the more I'm learning about our bodies and about the way that God has designed us to function on water, I cannot help but find a parallel on what Christ says, how he is the living water, and how cannot function without him. And so I just want to dive in and take a little turn and go there. All right. Okay. So I want to go to John chapter 4. All right. He's going to be talking about how he is the living water and things like that. But I want to jump back and get some more context to what's going on in the story. So I'm going to read a few verses and then we'll kind of break it down from there. And then we're going to see how does this apply to today and how does this relate to literally my water intake. Okay. All right. So it says John 4 is he's talking with a Samaritan woman. And so it says, he left Judea and went back once more to Galilee. Now he had to go through Samaria to get to Galilee. All right. Now, for context, Samaria was a country where if you were a Jew, you did not cut through Samaria. It was a quicker way to get where you needed to go, but there was a very hostile relationships there. Jews would walk the long way around because they did not want to interact with the Samaritan. There was just enemies, really tense stuff. But Jesus, of course, is like, I'm going through Samaria. Now, this is the only time that's recorded where he is going through Samaria. And I think it's because he needed to have this interaction with this woman that we're about to get to. And so, verse 5, chapter 4, verse 5 says, he came into a town in Samaria called Sychar, near a plot of ground that Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, And Jesus, as he was tired from his journey, sat down by the well, and it was about noon. So they've been walking, it's hot, they're tired, and they sit down by Jacob's well. Verse 7, a Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, will you give me a drink? Now, this is already just the fact that they're talking to each other and then he's asking for something. This is a really big deal because it just shows that he's gone out of the way and he's extending this invite for a conversation. He's asking her for something. What on earth is going to happen? His disciples had gone into town, so they were not even witnessing this. And of course, the Samaritan woman then says, she says, you are a Jew and I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? For the Jews do not associate with Samaritans. So this is already just what is going on here. And then Jesus answered and said, if you knew the gift of God, who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. Sir, the woman says, you have nothing to draw with and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well to drink from? And Jesus answered, everyone who drinks from this water, so the water on earth, the well in Samaria, everyone who drinks of this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks of the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life. So we're going to pause there, okay? And I think it's just good. We're getting more context of what's happening in this story, but also that's very relatable. Like, just like how 75% of Americans are dehydrated, we are always, you're thirsty, we have to drink water again. We are never fully satisfied. That's how it goes with water. But when Jesus says, whoever drinks of the water I give them will never thirst, indeed, the water I give them will become a spring of water welling up in them. So Christ's promise of living water, it parallels exactly with our need for hydration. Just as water quenches our physical thirst and sustains our life, Christ is the ultimate person who's going to quench our thirst for what is our purpose, what is our meaning, why am I here, and our spiritual thirst. And that's going to be what sustains us. And his water, that analogy of him being water, just like we are so dependent on water, we need to be just as dependent on him when it comes to our identity and when it comes to our motivations and when it comes to the things that we're doing. Because without him, we will shrivel up and raisin and we cannot function. We were designed to need him in every aspect of our bodies, every aspect of our minds, every aspect of our lives. Just like every single cell in your body needs water. And so to wrap up the story, I'm not going to go through the rest of the verse, but feel free to read through it on your own. Basically, he ends up telling this woman things about her that she has not told anyone. She had 5 husbands and she was living with another man and she was just living in this bondage and this shame. And then Jesus said, here is an invitation to have a relationship with me, to drink the water that I have, and you're going to be forgiven and you will go and sin. It gives you an opportunity, go and sin no more, to change your lifestyle. And that's exactly what Christ does to us. It's he presents himself as an invitation and says, I know everything about you. I know what you've done, but here's a way to drink and to not be thirsty, to be satisfied. And those, maybe the things that you've been spending your time with, or the things that you are searching, whether it's, searching out good vibes or manifesting or crystals or whatever, those things are not going to satisfy you. They're kind of like that Gatorade, right? You're like, it's got some good stuff in it, it's got a good mentality, but you're also filling your mind with just a lot of additives, added sugars, poisonous dyes. It's not the real deal. It's like a false, it's where it's fraud. It's like fool's gold. And yet, Christ is the living water, the pure water, that just like the water with the electrolytes, this is what's truly going to sustain you. And so I think that learning more about our body's need for water and the fact that Christ thousands of years ago used this analogy, and it's something that every single human being on the face of the earth has had to process. I need water, I need food, I need shelter. We all are reliant on water, and we are all reliant on Christ. And he is our what truly sustains us. And so to come to a close, I think it's important to remember that just like we have to sometimes set reminders to drink water and we have to swap out kind of half-hearted good things and get the real legit source for our own physical hydration, we need to be doing the same spiritually. Okay? So here's my challenge to you is nurture your body, nurture your mind, and nurture your soul by starting your day in the word, before you scroll social media, before you open your phone and check your email, just like, are you drinking coffee before you're drinking water? Are you already dehydrating yourself? I mean, when you open up, you don't even know what's going to come on your screen. What on earth are you listening to? I have been having weird dreams recently because I'm finding myself scrolling before I'm going to bed. I don't even know exactly everything that's filling my mind. And so I want to get ahead of the curve, and I want to fill my heart and my soul with what is truly going to sustain me. And the only thing that's going to do that is Jesus Christ and the Word of God. Okay? So the challenge is start your day by nurturing your thirst, by being in the Word, by learning more about who Christ is, by talking to Him, by praying. And then, just like you're doing that, drink some water with some electrolytes in the morning. Begin to form these habits, and over time, it's going to flood out just those false ways that we've been hydrating ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically, and you're going to find yourself more energized. Your brain is going to be sharper. You're going to have a better vision for your life. You're going to have a better purpose for your life. When you are interacting with others, you're going to not be so inwardly focused, but you're going to have the ability to look out, because when you're thirsty and when you're hungry, it's like an innate response. I need water. I need water. Nothing else matters. My brain is getting foggy. Just like spiritually, when you don't really know what you're doing, when you're floundering, when you're reaching for different things, it's not going to be crystal clear. But once you're getting water from Christ, once you're getting rooted deeply, you can look out and have a clear vision, clear direction, and you're not going to be thirsty. And you're going to be able to pour out and show other people what that looks like in your life. So, again, to some of you, that may have been a stretch, but I just can't help but see the parallels exactly in how God designed our bodies to need water, every single cell. And then how Christ, thousands of years ago, went into a town where he was not supposed to go, talked to a woman he was not supposed to talk to, knew things about her that no one else knew, just to give that analogy that today in 2025 we get to read about. Come on. Come on. This is good stuff. This is good news. And this is what fuels me and keeps me hydrated, shall I say. And so, just to wrap up this episode, I encourage you to stay hydrated physically, stay hydrated spiritually, and begin to give your body and give your soul what it needs, because it's going to make a difference and compound. It's going to add up over time. So I hope you learned something today. I know I was kind of all over the place. I changed up the format a little bit today. But I would love to know what your hydration regimen looks like, whether that's practically like how many ounces of water are you drinking? Do you set reminders? Do you have a water bottle you keep with you? Let me know what that's actually like. But then also let me know spiritually, how are you staying rooted by the river in the water? How are you staying sustained by Christ? Because honestly, that's the biggest thing. And every time you get thirsty, it should be a reminder of our thirst for Christ. Every time our body is signaling, hey, I need some water, that should be us reminding ourselves, oh, I need to rely on Christ. Whenever you start to feel fear and doubt, that's almost like you getting thirsty. Or whenever you start to feel yourself comparing yourself to others and critical, that is your, oh, I'm thirsty. I need to get back to the Word and to the water that's going to sustain me. So I'm learning this. I'm growing in it. It is a lifelong journey, I'm sure. But I do know that when I'm rooted in that water, that I am not going to be thirsty and I'm going to be quenched. And I know you are too. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope to see you again next week.